Good afternoon. The EFF has given the South African Health Products Regulatory Authority 7 days to approve the use of COVID-19 vaccines from Russia and China. Party leader Julius Malema says if SAHPRA does not approve the emergency use of the Sinovac and Sputnik V vaccines, the party will embark on a sit-in outside the house of the regulator's CEO. Members of the EFF marched to the SAHPRA office in Pretoria earlier. Malema says his party has always supported lockdown regulations implemented by government, but says authorities have betrayed their trust with the reported corruption involving COVID-19 funds.
We are told every day, J&J has got problems, it's discontinued, it will not be, it goes down, it comes back. Why? Because they took the money of Bill Gates. We have not taken money of Bill Gates. We have not taken money of anyone. Give everybody a safe vaccine which will protect life. And Sinovac and Sputnik, including the Cuban vaccine, has proven to be the most safer vaccine to be used. Those are the things we are fighting for. Not this Mickey Mouse they say on social media. We are fighting to save life. So we are here to march to save life, not to kill people. So please, let's comply with COVID-19 regulation. Let's not be scared. Let's be militant. Let's be radical. Let's sing. Let's chant. When we feel tired, we stop. In the middle of nowhere, the leadership will give us direction. Let's go to SAHPRA. We are going to give them 7 days. If they don't respond, we are going to the home of the chairperson of SAHPRA, Helen Rees. We are going to a house because the husband is a partner in Aspen. Aspen is the one that produces J&J. J&J is the one that has partnered with Bill Gates. Bill Gates who has bought everyone here, including Ramko. Amandla! Amandla!
Let's get more on the story. We cross to our reporter, Natasha Piri. Very good afternoon to you, Natasha. There's been concern about this march from some quarters, saying that the problem is not that the government doesn't want to give out the vaccines, that they're waiting for more information. Tell us more about how the EFF has responded to this and other concerns about their march.
Very good afternoon to Zing and, of course, to SABC viewers once again. Indeed, there have been those concerns that you have raised. But the EFF alluding to the fact that this is not true. They're calling for more transparency around the acquisition of, those vaccines, not only the J&J vaccines, but those vaccines that they are asking to be approved, such as the Sputnik V, such as China's Sinovac and Sinopharm vaccine. Earlier on, we saw party leader Julius Malema addressing scores, if not hundreds, but thousands of EFF members in Pretoria at the park there. They were just convening before their march, saying that indeed lockdown is not the solution, but vaccination is a solution for all and sundry. But there has been some heavy criticism, for the EFF actually holding this march under level 3 lockdown, especially as there are rapid COVID numbers that are rising. And Zinga, you know that Gauteng is the epicenter of this pandemic. But the EFF saying that, listen, they are here to march to save lives instead of destroying lives. And, just somewhat pleading with government to actually, and I beg your pardon, the SAHPRA, to actually approve these vaccines and approve these vaccines steadily. I spoke to a various number of EFF members, and they've also, just highlighted and reiterated these sentiments as well. I spoke to the elderly in Zimbabwe, which is quite surprising. Some who are vaccinated, some who are not, and some have criticized government's rollout plan, saying that it's actually going at a snail's pace. You'll remember that the EFF was calling for schools to actually close down and for more educators to be vaccinated. We've seen some educators have started being vaccinated. My colleague, Matlaku Komani, brought us that report yesterday, and I stand to be corrected, just telling us that about 48,000 of those educators have been vaccinated. So this is why the EFF saw it fit to actually protest to the SAHPRA offices. And in terms of where we are right now, we're just passing Farringdon Street here, by the corner of Farringdon and Francis Bard Street in Pretoria, and I think we're just 3 blocks away from those SAHPRA offices. Mzinga, you alluded to the fact earlier on that if the EFF or if SAHPRA, I beg your pardon, fails to respond to the EFF's demands, that they will stage a sit-in outside the home of the SAHPRA chairperson, Ms. Helen Rees. So the EFF seemingly giving SAHPRA 7 days to respond to their demands. We've heard from party leader Julius Malema saying that the deputy president of the EFF, Mr. Floyd Shibambu, will read out the memorandum and hand it over to SAHPRA. But in terms of the response by SAHPRA, we saw there in a statement, SAHPRA basically saying they will not be bullied, they will not be intimidated by the EFF and by its tactics, and they've condemned the EFF's accusation against it. I mean, in terms of the processes of approving, a vaccine, SAHPRA has said that they have to go through a vigorous process. I mean, they have to test its safety, its quality, and its efficacy as well. So these are just some of the processes that SAHPRA has to go through. But it is my understanding, Zinga, that the manufacturers of vaccines, mainly the Sinovac vaccines, has applied to SAHPRA for the emergency use of vaccines. And it's also my understanding that Sputnik V vaccine is also being investigated by SAHPRA.
Natasha Pire giving us an update of that EFF March in Pretoria. We'll have more on that a little bit later on. My apologies.